Hi, this is Queenie Yu from Bullet Point News. I'm with George Chiang, a resident of Stouffville since 2010, who wrote, composed, and produced the internationally acclaimed musical and film Golden Lotus, which has won over 60 film festivals awards around the world. George also writes songs and produces albums and music videos. He's performed on stage at the Stratford Festival and has appeared in dozens of film and television roles. George, welcome to Bullet Point News.
Thank you.
George, you just came back from Scotland, where the World Independent Cinema Awards crowned Golden Lotus with Best Picture of the festival. Tell us about Golden Lotus and why it's so captivating.
Well, Golden Lotus is based on, in my opinion, the best novel ever written, in the opinion of many scholars and literary people. It's one of the most famous Chinese novels, which actually has been banned in China since 1610. So, because it's such a controversial and provocative story, so I adapted it into a musical, and then we filmed it, and we made it into a film, and we submitted it to film festivals, and it's won a lot of awards.
Who some slay the tiger? Who some slay the tiger? On a mystic hill, the tiger found its meal. It roared a primal cry, then sprang into the sky.
The stage production itself in Hong Kong went very well. We won Best Original Work at the Hong Kong English Drama Awards, and so it's received a lot of acclaim on both stage and screen.
Why is Golden Lotus so controversial?
Well, there's a lot of poetry that's provocative and sexual in tone, and a lot of scholars also say it it really goes into the political corruption of the government institutions, which it does, which is kind of why it's such an epic story. Yeah, it's an epic story with but intimate, because it's a great love story as well.
The score blends pop rock with traditional Chinese music. Could you talk about that?
Yeah, so I wanted to make the music really palatable for today's audiences, so I chose pop rock as the musical genre, and I teamed up with Erhu Maestro and composer himself, George Gao, and he brought in the Chinese elements to the songs, and it's created quite a unique sound. And anybody who's seen the musical or who has heard the soundtrack agree the strength of the musical is the music. The story is powerful as it is. The music really carries the musical forward, and it makes it what it is.
What were some of the challenges that you had to overcome to make Golden Lotus a success?
Oh, well, we could talk all day about that, but it's been a long journey. Well, first of all, you got to write the musical, and that took me over a decade. We did three different workshops in United States. Our first one was in New York City with a lot of Broadway people, including Stephen Schwartz, who wrote Wicked. He directed the workshop at the ASCAP Foundation Disney Musical Theater Workshop, and that really put Golden Lotus kind of on its map. And then it really, it allowed us to get some funding from the Ontario government to do more workshops, which I did in Toronto, and then yeah, so and then eventually we got a production opportunity in Hong Kong, which we took advantage of, and we staged it there. So staging a production in a foreign country has a million challenges, that you don't know of until you actually do it. So that was great. And then luckily we had the foresight to film the production. And at the time, we actually weren't thinking of releasing it as a film. It was really just as a marketing tool to pitch to other theater producers and companies around the world. And so we put it together and we started pitching it. But then COVID happened, and then everything kind of shut down. There was no place to show any musical, or off theater offices weren't even, accepting inquiries or anything. So we just thought, well, we didn't know how long this pandemic was going to last. So we thought, hey, let's try to submit it to, film festivals. Maybe we can find an audience there. We at the beginning, we were just thinking, hey, maybe, we didn't know if it would be actually considered a film because it's really a live recording of a stage production. But we were shocked. We started winning awards right away. Best musical film, best picture, best original score, like, best actress awards, like everything. And it was shocking. And so for us to win this last reward, the reward we won in Edinburgh, Scotland, last week was really a perfect climactic, finale for the musical on the film festival circuit, because Film Fest International runs a series of 11 international film festivals around the world, including in Rome, Paris, London, Madrid, big city centers. And so the winners of all those festivals, congregate here. They congregated here in Edinburgh, Scotland last weekend to choose the best out of the best. And to be chosen, to have Golden Lotus be chosen, the best out of all 11 international film festivals was like a dream come true. Like I'd never even imagined that that would happen, and to receive the award, I'm still kind of like, you know going back, going, how did all this happen? But it's nice, and it's really motivated me and my team to continue the path of Golden Lotus on both stage and screen. So
That's amazing. Congratulations. Uh,
thank you.
is there a particular message you would like to communicate in your music or productions?
Well, with Golden Lotus, well, I guess the overall theme of Golden Lotus is you reap what you sow. But obviously, I wrote Golden Lotus because I wanted to really create an Asian musical that was obviously written by an Asian me, and had you know Asian characters, in this case Chinese, be the antagonist, the protagonist, and all the ones in between, and with an epic story. I just wanted to create like an Asian Les Miserables, and I think I did that here. With it's like a Chinese rock opera, but in English. So,
What advice would you give a young person who wants to become a composer and producer?
well, I mean, obviously, if they want to do that, they have a passion for it. So if you have a passion for it, do it. But if you're doing it anything other than this burning desire to want to create, then you're in it for the wrong reasons. You should only do it if you're doing it because you have all these things that just must get out. So yeah, that's what I would suggest. Follow your passion.
What projects are you working on which we'll see in the near future?
Well, I am producing and directing music videos for Harriet Chung, who just released an album, and during COVID we were quite busy. We shot 5 music videos during that time, and we're releasing them gradually. So we'll be releasing them. We just released her first album last month, and so we have a new second album, halfway done, which we'll release early next year. And as we go on, we'll release music videos for that. I'm also releasing 2 books. One is a sequel to my first book. I wrote a book about a Chinese railway worker a few years ago, and I'm writing this called The Railroad Adventures of Chen Sing, and I'm releasing the sequel to that called The Pioneer Adventures of Chen Sing, coming out later this year. And then I'm also have a book deal with Orca Books to publish a book about the first Asian hockey player in the NHL, Larry Kwong, and that'll be out next year in the spring. So got a lot of things I'm juggling.
I look forward to reading all those things.
Thanks. Oh yeah, also we're releasing a deluxe edition album for Golden Lotus on the soundtrack called Golden Lotus Sounds from the Musical. That'll be out this spring as well. So
Nice. Great. George, thank you so much for joining us at Bullet Point News.
Thank you very much.